All right, time now for Join Is Interactive. And if Wakara Singh has just joined me, good evening once again to you.
Good evening once again, Israel, and I'm here again. This time around, I have your comments. If you haven't sent them through yet, find us on facebook.com/Join News on TV, Twitter, Join News on TV, and on WhatsApp, the number is 0560800000. Now, Israel, why don't you just start us off with comments on the funeral of the late Ibuakwa North MP,
right,
JB Dankwa. Let's get some comments there. We posted a number of stories up, and like I said, if you go through Facebook, quite a number of the stories are being shared online. So all
right,
so have some messages.
Let's so the family of the late JB Dankwa bidding the final farewell. Kof William says, "Oh, Daddy, may your soul rest in perfect peace. Very sad." Nana Amousu Sapon says, in fact, anyone who killed his MP will lose this election and go on retirement period. Really? I don't know how that relates to anything. Eldo Forest says, may his soul rest in perfect peace. And Sami Hammond says, oh, what a solemn moment. And Augustine Nazon says, too sad. And it's actually a video of the event, so you can just get onto our Facebook page and get to see it. But the story rolled earlier on in the bulletin. And
Alaji Moro on WhatsApp says, may your soul rest in perfect peace, JB Dankwa. And indeed, now there's a very dicey story going around about a Catholic priest in the country. He had an affair with a 24-year-old student, impregnated her, asked her to have an abortion, to which she refused. Now she's delivered. The child is about 8 months old, and now the priest is refusing to take care of that child. Now, investigations are still ongoing to confirm the paternity of the child, but we've been out there asking you what you make of the story.
Well, I think it is not in the right direction, because as a Roman father, you're not supposed to even get married to somebody. You are supposed to be single. So for us to know that Roman father has impregnated somebody, I think it is not the right thing. So it's going to be news for everybody.
That is what their kind of like religion states for that kind of status as a priest. And I'm also saying that people challenge the system. People want to do reforms within the system, and they find ways of challenging the system. As to whether it is right or wrong, I wouldn't go into that perspective, because if the lady wants to prove the man guilty or prove responsible, there are ways of doing it, and she can go through it successfully, you know. But the right and wrong about it, I'll leave that to God to judge.
He's a Roman father. I believe he knows best. He is always with the Bible, and he knows fornication. What he did is fornication. It's against the rules of the Bible, and in the eyes of God, it's a sin. Moreover, he has an oath. He has an oath with God that he's going to stay without a woman. So if these things happens, it's quite pathetic. But we should also remember he's a human being. And then we handle such issues as such. So there might be the possibility he has sex with a lady, and then he might be responsible for the pregnancy. But since it's coming like this, he should, I think, accept responsibility and probably face all the consequences from his mission house, probably from the Catholics.
Well, as for me, I don't blame him, because I don't know the type of relationship they are before to this thing happen. Maybe the girl, she has some motive, because she was with the Roman father for a long time. And what is their relationship? How will she dress? Because the man is a man. And you women too, you look so attractive for us. Maybe at that particular time, she's in a setting, you know, so it attracts the man. He can't run away from it.
A certain what?
Body, no be firewood.
Wow, Israel. The last person said, body no be firewood.
And indeed, you're getting a lot of similar comments here on Facebook. Magani says, a priest is human. I'll do worse if I were a priest. He deserves our prayers rather than condemnation. Setawua says, a children's act places a responsibility to the father of a child, so he must be put right. He should be reported to the Social Welfare Department for appropriate action on that. He is not above the law. Let us call him to order. Indeed, the case is going to court, so that's beyond the social the social welfare department. Kwesi also says, you betrayed God for Tonga. Is it by force to be a priest? Why not marry? SMH, if you can't live that life, to practice priesthood, why go into it? Take responsibility for the child and find a wife. Nantoma says, I thought they said they don't have feelings for women, and why is his face not shown? Is it because he's a Christian? Media bias.
I don't think anyone has actually said that priests don't have feelings.
Right, so, and he's accusing the media of not showing his face.
But that is actually not his picture that we have.
Yeah, we don't have
there.
his.
We don't have his image.
Yeah. All right, William Ekufo says, if these reverend fathers are falling to the attraction of today's ladies, how much more me, a church member? And Shipman says, it's an unfortunate story, but those Catholic priests who can't just stand there heat down there should be able to open their zips, but in the right way. Body no be firewood. I rest my case. And Black Cat says, you think, say, body be firewood, Reverend get feelings rough.
I've got quite a number of comments coming through on WhatsApp. This one says, I stand to be corrected, but it is very sad the way the so-called Roman fathers portray such habits. To be honest, but you know, be firewood. If you think you can't, just withdraw and feel free than to deceive themselves and people. And this one is from Abriwaba PK, who is watching the show in Paga. This one says, this is just one of the many cases of this priest impregnating young girls. This one is from King. Okay, more messages coming through. Let's see what Abdul in Techiman is saying. He says, I don't really know this Honorable JB, but it's really sad on the way he died. An MP being murdered with a knife. May Allah grant him Al Jannah. And this one is, and he says Amen. Okay, so that one is on the death of JB Dankwa. This one says, I lament for the priest, but no one is infallible. This one is from Opomba in Tema Community 7. And this one says, my sister, they shouldn't think they can cheat nature. This one is from DA in Wa. And a lot of your comments coming through. Oh boy, I'll just take one last one. Who is it going to be? This one says, it is normal but not good because of the state the man of God is in. And this one is from Ora in Konongo. So those are some of your comments coming through on WhatsApp. Israel, you have some tweets?
I'll take one more comment coming on Twitter. Mufa says, we said you should marry, and you people said no. Now see the wahala you are bringing upon yourselves in Mother Ghana. As for Shifman, his comment has already been read.
All right, now after the break, we'll talk about the correlation between marriage, relationships, and happiness. Welcome back to the interactive segment, and just before the break we were sharing the story of a Roman Catholic priest who has impregnated a 24-year-old lady. She's actually given birth, but he's refusing to take responsibility for the child. And Barry Makubaji and Jene is saying that we shouldn't judge the priest yet, especially since investigations are still ongoing for this matter.
Well, that's a fair comment, yeah, so because well, they're yet to establish the paternity. That's one of the things they're seeking to establish in court. They want to establish whether indeed he is the father of the
child. Yes, yeah. Indeed. Now, a lot of people have said that, hey, if you're a priest, why don't you just, withdraw if you can't handle your feelings and marry? Well, if you think marriage is the solution to all your problems and will make you the happiest person in the world, a study we've come across suggests otherwise. Okay, so for one thing, marriage has been linked to overall well-being, and so have long-term relationships. But the story is that lasting relationships rely on something more important than marriage. Before we go onto social media, let's hit the streets.
Marriage.
Why?
Because marriage is a lifetime thing, but relationship, it can break at any time, any moment, and marriage includes a lot. But with relationship, anything can happen, and then your heart will break, and it won't lead to happiness. It will rather lead to sadness or hurt or anything else.
It's a marriage.
Why?
Because Bible said the person that find a wife has find a good thing. A lot of things, like like some like sex, you see, and yeah, a lot of things, because I can, yeah, it's a lot of things, because the thing I have find in marriage, I cannot find that kind of things in relationship. Yes.
It's marriage.
Why?
Because married, if you married, you gain happiness, and then your children too enjoy it. By relationship, as for relationship, you can break at any time. It can hurt you, and then it will hurt your future too.
With me, what I can say is that from what I'm experiencing now in my relationship, it tells me more of what is going to happen when I get married. It's a matter of fact, you get to meet the right person. That's what I know. Like, or what, that's what I've witnessed with other people. But when it comes to a place whereby you get to meet the wrong person, that's where you find yourself wanting.
And people were answering the question of whether it was marriage or relationships that makes one happier. Isha, what do you think?
Well, indeed, there's something more than just the marriage itself. Because if you're relying on just the marriage, you could get pretty messed up with it. Because marriage, once you're into it, you're confined in that restriction. And so, yes, if you get into a terrible one, you get really messed up. But if you get into a good one, you'll be really happy.
All right, let's go on to Facebook.
All right, so on Facebook, Nantoma says it's very true, especially today's women, they don't even trust the men they are married to. They judge you unnecessarily, question and doubt your movements, and also they want to see and know everything about their men. If you're a man who does not succumb to this, you're either referred to as irresponsible or cheating, and always they're right and the man is wrong. So how can there be happiness when a woman thinks she knows too much?
So excerpts of that study were that they did some research, and they found that couples who lived together but were not married had higher self-esteem and were happier overall than couples who were married.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what he is.
That's on the basis. So Maru also says, how can you be happy if you get married because all your colleagues are married? Some marriages have to please society. So sorrows. And then Don Frank says, the researcher may be dreaming whilst researching. Fake. And then Kofi Eduama says, we're trying if it's not too late. And Urish says, fake research. Ophelia Hava says, yes, very true. And Busan says, don't believe it.
Emmanuel says marriage is a little heaven on earth. I'm really enjoying mine. Okay, and this one says marriage is a semi-prison whereby one is sentenced without time frame versus relationship de be keke. Okay, good to know. But that's it. Israel.
Right.
Let's get some comments on the PURC's.
Indeed, the PURC is saying that you may be, the ECG probably may be overbilling you, and so we're asking you what are your experiences. I read the first one from Jonathan earlier. Tino says, hey, so are they trying to tell us all those of us complaining it's to whom alone have faulty meters? Then Bishi has taken over our meters. Ismail says they have secretly increased it without informing the general public. Went in 30 cities and I was just giving went in for 30 cities and was just giving 16 units with trivial excuses. Oh, God save GH. And Osman says, let's just accept because we have nothing to say. It's high time we get educated about how the meters read and how much for a kilowatt. And Tremaine says, thieves, if has God will punish you all. Nani, I'm about 20 Ghana cedis, less than 24 hours. Why? Do I run a mortuary?
No.
You go, they say you owe. How can you owe prepaid? And, so people are really peeved about it. On Twitter as well, there were some comments that came through on Twitter. And Emmanuel Deborah says NDC has bought all of them, especially my own sister Nana Magenta. I know what I'm talking about. I have evidence as to prove it. And Mufar says, why wouldn't they deny? Because they sat down on their table and planned to cheat Ghanaians, wicked people. So those are some of the comments that have come through.
That's it for the interactive segment. My name is Ifo Akwahasin. Enjoy your weekend. But Israel and Miss G, Titus in Kintampo has thrown a challenge to you two to show up on the AM show next week because Mama V beats Roland this morning. So the two of you should show your levels on the AM show.
What did they do exactly on the AM show? I
guess they were rapping or dancing or something on the AM show, but that's it for me. Enjoy your weekend. Good night.